We've upped our standards. So now, up yours. The Daily Mojo.
Director of Global Security, David G. is here. We're going to, before we get into the Instagram stuff, going to get back to the Neil deGrasse Tyson and finish up part of his thoughts here, because this is, again, a guy who's he's supposed to be all sciencey. He's supposed to, I mean, that's what he says. It's about the science.
Methodical, logical.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is what he was palavering on about the UFO stuff. Well, you know, science is very important, and science is blah, blah, blah. And then he goes on to say stupid crap like this.
What the trans conversation is foisting upon us is the need to find ways to slice the athletic universe such that we still have interesting fair matches. And is it a combination of, did you go through puberty as a male and then transition? Did you have puberty blockers? What is your hormone level now if you want to compete? So it requires more creative thought. Rather than saying no to it all, let's be creative about this. It's an unsolved problem. Yes.
Okay. That's all I'm going to play, because that's all you need to know, that it's an unsolved problem. The simplest solution and the most logical solution to all of the trans athletes is you have a men's division, a women's division, a trans woman division, a trans man division. There you've got all your coconuts playing against your coconuts, and your oranges playing against your oranges, and your apples playing against your apples. Done. Tell me how that's not scientific.
These are people that never get anything done. In the military, a bad plan was better than no plan at all. That dipshit will sit there and blab and blab and blab and get nothing done. Get something done, like you say. Okay, this is what we're going to do. Four leagues. No one would play in them. No, there wouldn't. It'd be just like women's
I disagree.
soccer.
I disagree. They'd play in them. Now, no one
they
may
wouldn't.
watch them.
Because
Sure they would.
What was that dipshit Leah Thomas? What was when he was a man? Well, I guess
We
he's
like to
always a
call
man.
Leah Thomas Big Swinging Hog, because apparently he had a big
Swinger.
old meaty
What was the name? What was its name?
Leah Thomas.
Before Leah.
I don't know. Bob?
It was born with a boy's name because it has a cock and balls. What was his name? My point
I
is
don't know.
that guy would not play in the trans whatever he is against an equal opponent. He's only doing it because he can win against the girls. He wouldn't play against other men.
Wow.
He wouldn't swim against other men because he'd be 110th again.
Wow. That is just
Think
so
about it.
hateful.
No,
so
it's
hateful.
just logical. He only did it to get an advantage. He did it to get an advantage.
Well, I still think that they'd play against themselves. They'd play with each other. Ron does. All right, let's get into the Instagram feature of the program today. And as we know by now, Big D loves to start off with a little bit of humor. Anything you want to add before we hit the play button on the DVD?
It's humorous.
Here we go.
Go ahead.
3, 2, 1.
It's pronounced Kelsey. Oh, someone spelled it wrong. It says CH. It is CH, pronounced Kelsey. Oh, okay. CH can be K. I guess you don't celebrate Christmas. All right, then. Enjoy your hot cocklet. Mobile order for Chelsea.
Wow. Enjoy your hot cocklet.
Who doesn't enjoy a good hot cocklet every now and then? Ron loves his.
Oh, my God.
Ron actually doesn't like, we admitted he doesn't like the wiener, and I think that's a little weird, but whatever.
It's just when you can't handle someone mispronouncing something when they clearly did it out of just pure.
I know. Gets all over my mesothelioma. It really does.
Everybody's
It's
offended.
that whole sound thing. Right. Speaking of big wieners.
Oh, and I want to say I have no idea. This could be complete AI, just completely BS, but it's interesting. I thought it was funny.
Which is kind of weird coming from David G., who actually is AI. I think that's probably a good time to let everybody know that he's not even real. And Ron has coded David G. But this is
we're in Elon Musk's Matrix.
Yeah, I think this actually might be real because before they hated him, they all loved him.
Yeah,
you ready?
And it's kind of a 2-level thing. So you got what's being said by the person at the podium, and then what's going on behind the podium. Go ahead, hit it.
You mean Big Mike? Here we go.
I want to start by thanking Harvey Weinstein for organizing this amazing day. Harvey. This is possible because of Harvey. He is a wonderful human being, a good friend, and just a powerhouse. And the fact that he and his team took the time to make this happen for all of you should say something not about me or about this place, but about you. All right, everybody, we are here because of you. I want to.
Okay, so that was Big Mike Obama talking about Weinstein. If you're listening to the podcast, behind Big Mike were Whoopi, and who's the blonde on the right? I don't know.
I don't know.
Do we know? All right,
I just like the fact. I noticed that that's at the White House. When I sent it, I didn't see the White House emblem, but at the White House, using our resources, our country, and given the polished. Yep, Harvey Weinstein. He's the dude. He's
hashtag Epstein didn't hang himself.
How did they not know? Everyone knew. They just hadn't caught him.
Please. Next up is classical learner. All right, give us a story.
I don't have a story. The story speaks for itself. Hit it.
All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Propaganda used to start wars. In 1990, a 15-year-old girl named Nayira testified in front of Congress on national television. She claimed that Iraqi soldiers had taken Kuwaiti babies out of incubators, put them on the floor, and left them to die. The corporate news media used the story to create outrage, and President Bush called for escalation in the Gulf War. As it turns out, Nayira's last name was El Sabah, and she was the daughter of the Kuwaiti ambassador to the United States of America. The story she told was fabricated, organized by the American propaganda firm Hill and Knowlton on behalf of Citizens for a Free Kuwait. The rest is history. When the powers that be want war, they always dehumanize their opposition. And that's why teaching children about propaganda is so important. We study the military-industrial complex for the same reason. Check out my private homeschool community. And Cubs to Bears.
There you go.
And so the follow-on
doesn't surprise me.
Well, for this last years that we've been doing this, or that I've been doing this, is what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? How can you help? Well, I've always pushed for go to the school board meetings, run for the school board council, start small, start local. Well, that guy's got a homeschool network. I'm not endorsing it. I know nothing about him, but the idea that parents can and should take care of their child's education is paramount, because we keep turning out those dipshits like DeGrasse Tyson. And who uses the hyphenated name? You're an adult, you big weenie. Just pick a name, pick one, and go with it.
Why do you hate hyphenated names?
Why do you assume I hate? What's the next one?
Because you just said why you don't like them and you should pick one. I'm just curious. You don't have to answer. It's all right. But with the Russian thing, that's what we all heard about the Ruskies in Ukraine. That they ran down the checklist.
Yeah.
Bombed a maternity hospital. At one point, didn't they say something about puppies? And then the train station and all of this crap. And it was actually the Chinese that were putting puppies and kittens out in bags on the street and killing them. Yeah. So, yeah. But they do it every damn time. All right. This next one is This one pissed me off.
This
And just so you know, everybody, I did go through these so that we don't have to worry about words like we did last week.
Are words bad? How do words hurt?
Some of them are, but we try to avoid the ones that the ones we avoid.
And so this guy takes naps. The reason I find him interesting is because he's got some really good things to say.
Guy.
He's a white guy, but he gets a lot of flack from the right when he doesn't blindly support Orange Man, which I mean, I like a lot of things that Orange Man did. So, but I'm not going to blindly follow anyone, but he'll go and
wait, you don't like Trump? You don't like Trump?
I didn't.
Ron, pot him down, get rid of him. Get rid of him.
So I like what this guy says, so that's why he's got a double shot. And you don't have to play the whole thing. Just go to the point where you think it's a good time to cut away.
Where would that be? Where would that? Just tell me when.
Your discretion. You've got the button. I don't.
Oh, good. All right, here we go. And
oh my God!
All right, that's it. So anyway, that was good. You're right. In 3, 2, 1.
Gosh, what a relief, guys! Don't panic. Don't worry. And here I was thinking that if they shut down the government, that we would stop being able to send money to the corrupt guy in the T-shirt.
By the way, for those of you who can't understand what he's saying is that if the government shuts down, don't worry about it because we'll still continue training the Ukrainian troops and we'll continue sending them support during the shutdown.
He doesn't use the name. He says the guy. He makes fun of him and talks about the guy in the T-shirt.
Whoa, hang on. The guy in the T-shirt, hasn't he been wearing polos lately?
He did that long sleeve collared button down.
Yes. Yeah, he's dressing up now.
Yes.
Right. All right.
Uptown.
Here we go.
Iran has determined that training and support of the crane is exempt from a government shutdown. Woo!
All right. You're right. That's because that's basically what he says throughout the piece. But which again is, and Congress continues to get paid. Congress continues to get paid as well, and it's infuriating. All right.
It's just beyond belief. So yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I sent him another one.
Yes, which is why it's up here on the screen. You just play it.
I mean, a lot of people. There are a lot of people who just can't wrap their head around foreign wars. They've got too many things going on at home, and they don't see Ukraine or Afghanistan, Iraq, even Kuwait as an impact to their daily lives. So that's why I sent 2 of them. One for the people who have more sophistication and time to worry about how we're just circling the drain, and why is the fact that we can shut down the government, not pay our veterans their benefits, but we're still going to send that $1 bazillion a day to
that we
Ukraine,
don't have.
That we don't have, right? But if we didn't have it, I'd much rather pay our domestic recipients than some douchebag in Ukraine, which I mean has nothing to do with us whatsoever. But so now we go back to the next story is domestic, and it's talking about the failed idiocy of New York City, our flagship, town, our flagship city in the entire country. I mean, if we had to pick one, New York is New York. Asked Frank Sinatra.
It's the largest metropolitan area in the country.
Yeah, and has a lot of influence. The UN is there, a lot of things. I mean, if you had to pick one city, you could arguably say New York is America's
and it's new
premier city.
It's not Old York, it's New York, so that it's got that going for it too.
Old.
All right, so just this is the robot, right?
Yeah, it's the robot. I don't know if it plays for the podcast, but go ahead.
Okay, here we go.
The stories write themselves. New York City Mayor Everett just unveiled a new subway safety initiative where this 400-pound RoboCop will be patrolling the subway. Yeah. This robotic 400-pound egg will be patrolling the New York City subway, recording video. And it's so faulty, it needs a cop to guard it. Oh my God, these people love wasting your money. This robot, called the Nightscope K5, costs $70,000. $1,000 a year to lease. And not only that, they keep malfunctioning. This is an article back in 2020 where it talks about it running over toddlers' feet, ignoring people. Look at that. It ignored a woman trying to report an emergency and told her to step out of the way. Oh.
Okay. I think we get the idea.
God, that guy's annoying.
Wow, he sure is. He's okay. Does he have more followers than we do? I bet he does, that dirty bastard.
How many?
Yeah, he does.
Does he have a lot?
Ron, we're going to start talking like that.
What?
Yeah. Right. Okay, sorry.
He has a podcast where he's very calm and speaks, but I just
We should try that one.
It's beyond belief that when we come down to brass tacks, when we come down to basic common sense, the people of New York continue to vote these morons in. Now, what's his name? Adams. If this thing goes back to 2019, clearly he didn't initiate it, but he didn't shut it down either. So the $70,000 a year, and did you see in one picture? There's about 4 or 5 of them. So that's
there's
70.
several of these things. They're for the subways, and there's no doubt that they break down, I would say. And the second thing that will happen, because I was already thinking about ways. As soon as I saw it, I was thinking about how would I be able to disable it.
Push it over.
You can't.
Oh no. You can.
Officer, there's a physical
there
officer.
Will be for the
it.
first 2 months. They say for the first 2 months that there will be an officer going with it. But after that, I already thought of a way to disable the damn thing. So.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
after the first disable, but they'll put another. They'll do that stupid thing. You're absolutely right. I'm not arguing with you. I agree that you will do that thing, and then the next day there'll be a patrol officer right next to every one of them. And then 2 months later, they'll take them away, and then you'll jack it up again.
Yeah.
And then they'll put the cop back on there because they're just stupid.
Yeah. Because and quite frankly, I thought my biggest thing was, well, how do you disguise yourself to get up there to disable it? Because I'm just saying, Krylon and $6 will take care of that $70,000 a year robot. And then so once you do that, I thought the facial recognition on it, but anymore. Who gives a crap? So they facially recognize you. What are they going to do to you? They got to find you first, and they've already proven. Yeah. Exactly. So anyhow, moving on. I say moving on.
I didn't know if you'd screen this because it doesn't work for the voice, for just the podcast. It's just a little dig. It's what it is. It's a cartoon, and it's the airplane headed toward the Twin Tower. Superman intervenes. Go ahead.
All right, here we go in 3, 2, 1.
Superman saves the day again.
Yep. That is a visual for, again, you podcast people, the future people. The Twin Towers in the frame, Jet flying at first the North Tower. Superman stops Jet, and a moment later, the sound you heard was the first tower dropping anyway. Because at this point in time, that seems legit. That it was going to happen. Yeah.
I figured you'd like it.
And all it takes is... Actually, this the next one kind of supports it in the fact that they'll say anything. They'll lie.
Yeah. Hit it.
That's Chuck Schumer. Oh, just hit it? All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Interest of our country and our country.
This is Schumer 2019, 9/25/2019. So four years ago.
Constitution.
Let me
proceed with an impeachment.
I'm going to restart it because that's only fair to Chuck you, Schumer. So here is Chuck Schumer 4 years ago on impeachment. It's his stance on impeachment 4 years ago.
Interest of our country and our Constitution to proceed with an impeachment inquiry. I strongly support Speaker Pelosi's decision. I think the impeachment...
4 years in the future, which would be last week in D.C. regarding impeachment.
Inquiry is absurd. The American people want us to do something that will make their lives better, not go off on these chases and witch hunts.
We've all seen this so freaking many times, and it's disgusting every time you see it. And you'd think that they would know that they just don't give a crap. They don't care that we know that they're full of shit.
Well, what I'd like to know, it'll never happen, but in my rich fantasy world, what the bad twin would say. I'd love to hear the bad twin, because we know someone who's just cuckoo crazy leftist. What she would say.
Because he was bad. Obviously, Trump was bad. Biden's not
clearly
bad.
He's bad. Biden's not
right.
bad.
That's
yeah.
Right. And how do you argue with that? Neil deGrasse Tyson. Huh?
Yeah.
But before we move on to the next one, I want you to give your rah-rah sis spoonbaugh for Tool School over on the Insta, because again, that's where you want to hang on a second. Boom. There's your Tool School Insta. What do you want to say? What do you want people to know? What do you want them to do? Where do you want them to touch
I want them to go over, check it out. Go over to Tool School, Tool School with a K. There's some stuff. You can even see Brad. Brad's in there. He's making flames.
He's right there.
Fire.
He's the big blue one.
That's it. The big blue
He's
one.
the big fat whale right in the middle.
Pool, pond, whatever works for you. Yeah.
Can I use the same retarded joke that I did last time?
Todd did. Yeah.
You support the handicapped, obviously.
Yeah.
That one never gets old. It never gets old. Anyway, sorry. Back to toolschool.com and Tool School and Insta. All right, here we go. Back to New York mayor and this guy.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Hit it.
Talk to him. Oh, just hit it? All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
During your campaign to keep New York City a sanctuary city, do you have any concern that that policy is attracting more people to the border to make that dangerous trip?
No, not at all. The city has always been a sanctuary city, and we've always managed those who wanted to come to New York City to pursue the American dream. Let's be clear here. We've all come from somewhere.
Feel-good platitudes and virtue signaling.
Several months later. This issue will destroy New York City. We're getting 10,000 migrants a month. One time we were just getting Venezuela. Now we're getting Ecuador. Now we're getting Russian-speaking coming through Mexico. Now we're getting Western Africa. Now we're getting people from all over the globe have made their minds up that they're going to come through the southern part of the border and come into New York City.
Unbelievable. Well, it's not unbelievable. But these asshats, they say it with a straight face.
But it's the voters that I can't. I mean, you go one level deeper. You live in New York City, for example, and you hear this asshat, and you say, "Oh, he's doing a great job. We're going to vote him in again." How is that possible? We've lost it. We're done.
Well, and the only thing, and this is my conspiratorial brain speaking, and I want to give human beings the benefit of the doubt for some reason. I think maybe it was rigged.
Yeah.
Maybe it was rigged. I don't know that it was, but maybe it was rigged. So, yeah. So, and too bad we can't get to the Fetterman. Actually, I'll do the Fetterman later and take credit for it. How's that sound?
Oh, yeah, please. That's good. You voted for that guy, too. You Pennsylvania.
Right, exactly. Well,
Hi, Ron.
Again, that's another day. All right, it's David G. from toolschool.com and the Tool School Insta.
The First Amendment.
Did you know that you have rights? Constitution says you do.
Lives here. Watch and listen at thedailymojo.com.